Welcome to the Alphanerd podcast. I'm your main host Kyle with my gaming co-host Andrew.
Hello.
So starts our first week of our very Cthulhu Christmas.
That's right. I'm going to start playing that this weekend.
Yep. As of our next time that we're on together, we will both be reviewing and talking about Cthulhu Saves Christmas.
That is a game by Zeboyd. I actually really like Zeboyd. They make some good stuff. Weirdly enough, on Steam, I think they actually renamed themselves. So there's a Zeboyd Games, and then there's let me see what they're actually called. Zeboyd Digital Entertainment. So they renamed themselves, and I don't know what happened there. I don't know whether, I think it was two people. I don't know whether they, split up or what happened, but they do have other games. If you click on Zeboyd Digital Entertainment, it only shows, Cthulhu Saves Christmas and one other game. They do have more than that. This Way Lies Madness. Apparently that's their most recent game. It's a Shakespearean game of magical girls, like Sailor Moon.
Oh, God.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I do not either. So, as far as news goes...
Do you want to talk about Pokemon?
Yes. Pokemon Violet and Scarlet are officially the worst rated Pokemon games ever.
I've seen the bugs that people put online, and I've laughed so hard. It is a technical mess. Or at least it looks like it.
It's pretty wonky. I'm playing it right now. I have some good clips to put in here when I go over the game with you fully, because I'm not going to go over that until I beat it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a joy.
Is it I guess you'll talk about that more later, but is it a good game?
It's very basic. It's decent.
I mean, it's a Pokemon game. They're all pretty basic.
Yeah, but this is a little more base. Sword and Shield was way more intricate in some aspects.
Well, it's because it was British.
Yes.
You what, mate? Is that a Pikachu?
And I sat there and talked about it. I was like, how could you guys give Sword and Shield shit when this is so much worse?
What's so... I haven't followed a ton of it aside from seeing that it's really, really messy from a technical aspect. What are there other issues with the game? Is it, unbalanced?
It's... So now, instead of certain Pokemon being in certain areas, Pokemon will only spawn when you're at certain levels.
Interesting.
And on top of it, for being an open world, it's kind of set up like an open world as such as Fallout New Vegas, where it's open, but there's clear path of progression that you're supposed to make, and it'll block you.
All right. A, I really was not thinking you were going to compare that to Fallout New Vegas. And B, Fallout New Vegas doesn't block you at any given point. Not that I'm aware of.
It doesn't block you. It just... And if you go north from the beginning town instead of south like they want you to, you get your ass turned inside out from the super bloat flies and stuff that are all in that one area.
I mean,
that's the only...
You can go from... Something Springs. What's it actually called? I can't remember what the open village is. You can run from there right to Vegas. It's not that hard.
But there's all the super bloat flies there, and you have to be able to dodge them and tank them.
Actually, all you gotta do is follow a mountain range to the right and just hug the mountain, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, well. So, there's that, because I went the one way, and it doesn't really say... They're like, go any which way you want. We'll just be at some places. And I tried going what way I wanted, and all of a sudden they're like, here's a level 65 Pokemon.
Can't you actually break the story? I thought I saw something where you can literally just break the story in the first 15 minutes of the game.
I do not know.
I saw something about that. You basically sequence break where something was supposed to happen. It doesn't let you continue the story, but you can explore the whole world.
That's weird because also your riding Pokemon.
Yeah.
Has certain abilities to be able to traverse other areas, so that's why it's also pseudo blocked off. You have to earn the other abilities by doing some of the other side quests because there's 3 main storylines you can take. And how they did that was really weird. They're like, oh, you can choose to finish them in any order you want. But if you want to be able to get to the rest of the game, you have to go do these missions right now. I'm like, that's not any order I want. You're literally blocking it behind other missions. So I have to, do some here, some there, which is fine. But don't give you the illusion of you get total choice.
Okay, I guess that's fair. How are the Terra things, the crystal stuff? Tetra?
It's just like Gigantamax. It's just like Mega Evolution. It's very much that kind of gimmick. I do like it so far. It actually has made the battles a lot more technical.
Mm-hmm.
So it now longer is like a rock, paper, scissors, like, oh, well, I have this fighting type, and oh no, they have a ghost. There's nothing I can do. Oh, well, I can Terra type, switch it up, so I can now do stuff.
I mean, when they have a ghost type, you can just bust it, right?
Yeah. So the other really creepy thing, and it's really creepy, everyone's a school student in this universe.
Everyone?
The first 3 trainers I met on the beginning road was like, the one guy's like, I don't know where the gym is. He's like, I spent 60 years looking for it, and I'm looking right at the gym like it's a straight line. And he's like 60 years old. He's like, I spent 60 years trying to get to this gym. And he's like in like he's like in hot pants, like for like a school kid. It's really creepy.
Maybe the people here are just deeply incompetent.
Okay, they're all short busters.
Yeah, I guess that's really the only thing I can say.
I know that's a really mean way to put it, but
well, if they all
in the sense of the game,
yeah,
in the sense of the game and how they did these characters, it very much feels like that.
Well, I mean, Pokemon's also a kid's game, so take that as you will.
Right.
It's a kid's game mostly played by adults, so it's basically like My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Just, it's My Little Pikachu.
Yeah. So, other news. Game Awards is tonight.
Yeah, that's in like an hour, I think.
Yep.
I gotta say, God of War Ragnarok versus Elden Ring, because I don't know what other options are actually on Game of the Year, but those are the 2 real games of the year.
Yeah, those are the 2.
Anything else?
The other ones are they're just there.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're just there as like filler, as like mandatory. Like these are games we're gonna put in here. They don't have a chance compared to Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok at all. I have not played Ragnarok yet. I'm hoping to borrow it soon from a friend of mine, but I have heard that it's far and away better than God of War 2018. So
yes, but I also hear the issues is it's just way too long.
I've heard it's pretty long, and I know when you beat it, you just get more stuff. Like there's like tons of stuff that unlocks after you beat the game. I am okay with a long game if the pacing is correct. Short games can feel really long if the pacing is off. Long games can feel really short if the pacing is right. Long games with bad pacing are the worst things in existence because it's like an eternity to get something done.
I'll let you decide that one for yourself.
Oh, I will, Kyle. I will decide that for myself. I will play God of War Ragnarok, and I will come back and tell you exactly what I think.
I know you will.
I loved 2018. I'm looking forward to Ragnarok. If it ends up being too long, I know they've changed the combat a lot. I'm hoping the too long complaints aren't too serious. I'll let you know.
So, else with the Game Awards, what do you think they're going to reveal as far as spoilers? Because
spoilers?
because they do a bunch of trailers and stuff for upcoming and new games.
What do you think they're going to reveal? Okay.
Yeah, what do you think they're going to spoil out? Because right now, anybody.
Elden Ring DLC.
Capcom's supposedly doing something too for this.
They may announce the next Monster Hunter, like the mainline one.
I think it's going to be a Mega Man game.
Really?
Because we're coming up on the 35th anniversary.
Okay, that's fair. I figured right around now... Oh, I guess that's a piece of news I should say. Monster Hunter Rise is being released for consoles, for Xbox and PlayStation 5. in January. So
Nice.
that makes me believe that they're going to start talking about the next mainline Monster Hunter at some point here soon, because Monster Hunter on the consoles feels like, or Monster Hunter Rise on the consoles feels like, okay, this is the last thing we're going to get out the door, and then we're really going to move over to World 2 or whatever they're going to call it.
Fair enough.
I didn't know Capcom was there, but I guarantee you there's an Elden Ring DLC reveal. Like, it is the... So, Elden, From Software, they do their DLC...
Konami? Or is it Konami or is it Capcom? I think it's Capcom.
Who?
That's revealing something. I'm pretty sure Capcom's Mega Man, right?
Yeah, Capcom's Mega Man. Capcom is Mega Man, Resident Evil, Monster Hunter.
So yeah.
But this is the time frame for Elden Ring DLC. From Software usually reveals it about 8 to 12 months after release, and Elden Ring came out in February.
Yeah. So that'd be about right. So with all the Game Awards coming up, they also announced. Well, they didn't announce, but they showed a Dead Island 2 trailer and gameplay of the one that's going to be coming out.
I think that's going to be a dud.
They completely dropped the 4-player aspect from the looks of it.
Yeah.
And made it about one person, so it's going to be more or less Dying Light.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be probably just a more violent version of Dying Light.
And at that point, like, it looks great. I love the way it looks. I liked Dead Island 1. It was not great, but it was good for what it was. It was fun to play with my friends.
Dead Island was enjoyable. It was complete garbage, but it was enjoyable. Mm-hmm. But 2, as soon as they dropped the 4-player part of it, like, that's a huge part of what made Dead Island 1 so enjoyable.
And successful, because unfortunately it was successful.
Yeah, exactly. And then 2, it had troubled development. Then the company that was making it got bought out. Then that actual studio, I think, got closed, and they handed Dead Island 2 to a different studio. And, okay, cool. But if you're going to reboot it as essentially Dying Light, the colorful edition, come on. You've lost a lot of your unique identity. Like, Dying Light really stepped up and took Dead Island's place. Yeah. It has a higher emphasis on parkour, but it's still extremely similar to what Dead Island 1 aspired to be. Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Let's move on to some game stuff, because we skipped a episode, so we should have lots to talk about.
Yeah, we did skip an episode. It was a holiday, and I ended up getting a bit under the weather. There was a lot going on. By the way, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was fine. It was nothing super great, nothing super bad. Very, very, very generic.
All right, that's fair. I'd
rather that than be the stress ball that it is sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes it can be just too much stress for what is supposed to be a nice holiday.
Yeah. So how was yours?
Mine was great. I unfortunately caught a bout of some food poisoning on the weekend, and that wasn't fun. But I ended up recovering after a couple days, and I'm back to fighting form.
Nice.
I didn't lose as much weight as I thought. It's good.
Oh, good. That's good.
Okay.
I'm glad you're not dead, because I need you to help carry the show.
That's true. Anyways,
at least until February, till our birthday, our show's birthday.
There we go.
Then you can keel over dead.
Okay, cool. Got it. All right, so I want to talk about some games. Most of the games I'm going to talk about, I'm actually disappointed in. And I want to start by talking about a game called Scorn. Have you heard of Scorn?
Yes. I already know the full game. I saw it. I saw the ending. I saw most of the gameplay.
Well, you actually have seen more than me, because I actually stopped playing it about halfway through. So I started playing Scorn. I really like the aesthetic. For those who aren't aware, Scorn is a first-person puzzle game. Okay, it's also described as a first-person shooter. I'm not going to describe it as that, because it is the worst first-person shooter I think ever made, or at least close to it. It's a first-person body horror / bio horror puzzle game. and you're not really told what you're doing in the game. There's no real dialogue in the first like couple hours, as far as I could tell.
There's no dialogue at all.
Okay, there's no dialogue at all. They don't explain what the world is. The world's all grotesque biological machinery. You're like some weird, creepy person, like animate corpse thing. I don't know. You're alive, but you get your guts ripped out repeatedly. It's supposed to be like a real creepy game that's supposed to be aesthetically gorgeous and all this stuff. The things I'll say is all right. One of the conceits of this game's design is the levels are huge, but there's really only one place you need to go. It pads so much of its time with you just wandering around trying to figure out what to do. You can actually beat the whole game in like 90 minutes if you know exactly where to go. But it's trying to get you to like walk around and be like, "Ooh, gross. Oh, this is gross. Oh, look at this thing. It's gross." Or it's sad, or it's creepy. But in reality, it just kind of is plotting, and with no idea what you should be doing, the impact of the puzzles, there is none. You're like, "Oh, cool, I just stuck this thing in this pod. Great job. That made that other thing make a sound." There's no context that really relays to you how your interactions with the world are really doing things.
Or why you're doing it.
Yeah, or why you're doing it. You have no motivation aside from there's a gooey thing that you need to grab. I thought it was like boring. I've played worse games, but I kept playing it. And eventually I don't know how long it actually is in the game. I'm going to assume it's about a quarter of the way, maybe a third of the way. You are given a weapon, and now there are enemies you gotta kill. And your health does not regenerate. You get a limited number of health bulbs that, of course, come out of some gross, like, sea anemone thing you hold in your hand, and you have to, like, eat the bulbs. It's creepy, and I mean, I usually like that aesthetic, but when it's tied to health bars that disappear way faster than you can heal them, so the game is, like, trying to be almost survival horror, except the problem is all the enemies take a lot of hits to kill. They fire really rapidly at you, and they chase you. And they all have ranged attacks. When you eventually get a gun, which, by the way, weirdest thing in the game, you have a gun that fires bullets and sounds like a gun, but it's made out of flesh.
Yep.
That's weird. I really wish they would have made the sounds different. But you don't get enough... The first encounter does not give you enough bullets to kill all the enemies that show up. And you can skip a lot of the enemies. That's fine. But then there are some enemies you cannot skip. So if you've reached that point and you're out of bullets, you got to use the first gun you're given, which is basically like a flesh gauntlet that shoots a bone piston out. And that is infuriating because the bone piston takes 4 hits to kill an enemy, okay? You only get to fire 2 shots at a time, and then it recharges for an unknown length of time. There is no indicator telling you it recharges. You just have to guess.
And hope for the best.
And it is infuriating. Like, the game takes all of its gravitas with the horror, with the puzzles, with the kind of melancholy, oh, this world is dead, and just throws it in a bucket and kicks it off a pier with the combat. And because there's no context to what you're doing or why things are like this or anything like that, you can just assume that you're being harassed by what is essentially this world's version of really big rats. Like, it's infuriating. After doing the combat for a little bit, I was just like, I don't care enough about any of this to keep going. This world is not that interesting. Its aesthetic is cool. It's very H.R. Geiger-esque, but there's nothing that attaches me to doing the stuff that I'm doing here.
Right. So I will let you know, you did not miss anything with the ending.
Okay.
Because the ending's a very complete fucking sideways turn that would totally fucking take you off the game.
I heard there's a boss fight. Is there
I guess.
Is there a boss fight? Because if there's a boss fight, that's even worse.
There's not really. It's not really a boss fight. It's like one of those kind of unwinnable fight things. Like, it's like the ending is very. The ending's so just a random flash in the pan ending. Like you would never be like, what the fuck does this all mean? What the fuck is going on? Why is it going on? I'm confused. And then it goes, and then it just kind of feels like that. Really, this is how they ended it.
Oh my gosh, that's so disappointing.
So I'm not gonna. I'm just letting you know you did not miss out on a damn thing.
You can spoil it. I'm not gonna play it.
Well, you know how your gun's like infecting you and it's like attached to you.
Yeah.
Eventually, you get to a point where it's infected you so much that you try to transfer your brain to another body through this crazy machine. It chops you up and then tries to hurry up and stick your brain into another body. So now you're like really mutated and fucked up.
Oh.
And then it starts trying to walk you to safety to like the end of the game. And then the original parasite, the thing you shot at that, you know, fucked off.
Yeah.
It gets you and kills you.
Okay.
Like it literally just jumps off the cliff, jumps on you and absorbs you. And then you turn into a giant mutated ball where your eyes are just moving around, but you can't move. And that's how it ends.
That is the dumbest thing. That is
it was. Oof.
That is so dumb.
Yep. So you did not miss out. So, do you want to go back and forth on games, or do you want me?
Yeah, sure. You go ahead.
All right. I'm still going on Oni Banchara. V2 Chaos. I'm 3 to 4 levels in, and oh god,
Is it bad?
it's. I forgot how rough these games are. They're silly and fun, but they are super rough and super not designed well.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I love it.
Right.
I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait for you to play it. But I will honestly say I forgot how rough they are, so I don't think I'm going to like slog through it. I'm just gonna, when I'm bored and I want to pick up something to play real fast, that will be it.
Oof.
I mean, I'm taking recordings of everything. I'm going to show some recordings of some of the gameplay. Holy Jesus. I can't wait to finish it. I plan on finishing it before our 1 year of the show. So, and Thief, and some other games.
That's
it's crazy. It's wonky. The stereotypes are so over the top, and it's great.
I have never heard of an Oni-Chanbara game that isn't just like a technical mess.
Yes. Oh. It's so much fun to play. It's so much fun to play, though. Like, it's one of those games that's bad, but it's still great to play. Like, Deadly Premonition.
You just chop up zombies, right?
Yeah. It's a really clunky version of Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors? Really?
Yeah, oh, yes. And they're so fun. They're so fun. It's fun. It's fun. And I can't wait for you to play it so we can just rip on it and have fun with it. So that's one of the games I've played. Back to you on what you've played.
Okay, so I started playing a game, and I'm quite a ways through of a game called Soccer Story. So if you heard of Golf Story,
yes.
Did you ever play it on the Switch?
No, I
Okay.
sure did not.
I am 99% sure that Soccer Story is a sequel by the same people that made Golf Story. I'm like 99% sure. Yeah, it looks like they are, I think. Okay. Anyways, I loved Golf Story. I don't like golf. I want to be very clear. I do not enjoy the game in any way, shape, or form. Golf Story.
We're never going to go play golf together?
No, we're not. We're not.
Oh, come on. We could do an Alphanerd golfing
We're
day.
not doing Alphanerd golfing.
You are so not fun.
Golf Story was really fun. It was like a top-down 2D game, kind of like Super Nintendo-esque, and you basically were in this world where golf was the only thing that mattered, and you could golf at any point. Like, so you'd walk around the overworld. Well, it's not really an overworld. It was a big connected world between all the very thematic courses, and you could like just drop a golf ball somewhere and hit it to like solve puzzles and stuff like that. And you were trying to win all the golfing championships. Now, the rules of golf in this universe are much different than the rules of actual golf. It's very arcadey. It was a very fun game. It was a very silly game. There were some solid jokes. It didn't last too long. That was a really good part about that game. It was a pretty cheap game, but it was good. It was quality. They came out with Soccer Story, which is basically that, but with soccer, also known as football. Which there is an option in the menu to switch everything to football, and then the game becomes Football Story. But we're in America, and it's soccer. So, anyways, the entire conceit of the game is that soccer was the most popular sport in the world, which actually that is true. It is the most popular sport in the world. But like, it's another one of those worlds where the entirety of the storyline revolves around that sport. Like, everybody enjoys soccer, except one day at the World Championship, someone kicked a goal so hard that it basically like shattered, like it basically like created an apocalypse. That then like destroyed cities and leveled like mountains, and so they banned soccer in case it ever happens again. And you play someone who years later is selected by a magical soccer ball to go out and reforge the sport of soccer across the land. It is amusing. And basically the game is very similar to Golf Story. You run around, you can summon your magic soccer ball wherever and kick it around to solve puzzles. You rebuild soccer teams under the conceit that no one calls it soccer. It's called goal kick or kick goal. That way they can still do it and it's not illegal. And
nice.
There's like a Team Rocket like villain faction who are like the super anti-soccer hooligans / gangsters, and it's a cute little game. If you turn it on hard, it is brutal. Like when you try to actually do the soccer matches, I do not turn it on hard. I tried it once because I wanted to see how hard it actually was. I could not even get the ball to the other side of the field.
And because you suck.
Apparently. It's a fun little game. It's very arcadey. It's got little side quests that all have to do with kicking your ball in some way, shape, or form. It's silly. It's an enjoyable game. It would be good for like families or just something really low stress. Like you want to like unwind and kick a ball into some goals or something like that. They've switched to kind of an isometric 3D view. You played Octopath Traveler, right?
Yes.
So it looks, it has that style where the characters are sprites but popped out.
Okay.
If you know what I mean, but just not with the like 18 layers of Vaseline on the screen like Octopath Traveler.
Octopath Traveler wasn't that bad. It wasn't like a bunch of Vaseline.
Anything that wasn't your actual moving character looked like somebody like smeared the screen. It used depth of field so hard. But yeah, it uses that kind of viewpoint. It's a fun, silly game. I think I'm like halfway through it, and I really haven't invested much time in it. It was enjoyable. I liked it. I'm liking it. Eventually I'll finish it at some point. It's just silly and lighthearted.
Okay.
Anyways, what's your next game?
I'm checking my library because I've been playing on and off a bunch of things lately. But I got to tool around with a demo of the Outbound Ghost, which is a Super Mario. Yes, it's a Super Mario RPG, the Paper Mario RPG style kind of game.
Okay.
I got to try the demo. I've been waiting for I've been following the creator. He's been posting up about it was going to hit consoles on the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Like hard copies and stuff hit the Switch and stuff. Unfortunately, Nintendo and PlayStation kind of just did, I don't know what they did, but it runs like trash on the PlayStation and Switch.
Well, that's weird.
And the creator was like trying to like get it fixed.
Mhm.
They're not responding. The creator of the game also is very not happy with what transpired this week. For Black Friday, they allowed their game to go on sale.
Okay.
After the Black Friday sale, Steam immediately put their game back on sale half off.
Huh.
Without authorization or even anything at all.
That
So,
seems like potentially a problem.
oh yes, very much so. So as of today, because I actually went in to look to see about it, because I just saw his tweet, he pulled it. He pulled it from Steam.
Huh. I mean,
How long? How long? I don't know.
I mean, if you bought it, you can still download it.
I haven't bought it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you buy it, yeah. Does he sell it on any other platform, any other PC platforms or stores?
No.
Huh. Interesting. I'm shocked he doesn't sell it on like itch or anything like that, like itch.io.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I might actually just go buy a physical copy from GameStop. Even though it's gonna run like crap, it's just one of those games that might just be worth having.
Wait, I didn't realize they had actual physical copies of small run games like that.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Oh.
Walmart's got them right now.
Interesting. Interesting.
It looks really fun. I'm really interested in it, but will it? It might just sit in my case because I'm looking at it right now. They're $30 for hard copies.
$30. Oof.
I mean,
how much is the game for digital?
let me check because they did pull it, but the listing, it's because it's saved under my stuff. It's still there. It just won't give you the name of the game.
Yeah.
I just happened to figure it out because it was the only game in that lineup. It's $20 for.
Okay, so that's not a crazy markup on that.
No. So I liked it. I liked how it felt. I'm really hoping to get to play it. Me and Cheetah are really excited about that. It is very cute, very just enjoyable to see and play. I'm really hoping to get a full review on that.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about it. Because, I mean...
other than that, I've been just grinding Pokemon.
All right. Well, I have some more stuff to talk about.
Absolutely. Go for it.
So I've actually finally gotten around to... I've waited on this game for so long because I played it originally on console and it ran like crap, and I just stopped playing it because it ran like crap. And now I just decided to install on my PC. But Dishonored Death of the Outsider, I actually have never finished that game, even though I'm a big fan of the Dishonored games. So I installed it again. I've been playing through it, and it's pretty good. There's some interesting choices that have been made in it, and the story is... It feels like this game could have just been an expansion pack to Dishonored 2. I'm kind of surprised it's an entirely separate game. There's only like 6 levels. It is weird. But I've been enjoying it. Are you familiar at all with the Dishonored games? Did you play any of them?
No, they were just never my thing, so I never picked them up and played. I saw what they look like. I have some idea what they're about.
Okay, yeah. So the entire conceit in the Dishonored games is that there's this dude called the Outsider. He is a god. He lives in the void, and he is unknowable and most of the time kind of evil, but he's not like explicitly evil. He's just kind of like, I don't know what to call him. He's a wild card. Like
he's just a dick. He's just a dick.
He can be a dick. He helps out the main characters in 1 and 2 sometimes, but then he also doesn't help them out sometimes. But spoilers are in the title of Dishonored Death of the Outsider, in that your goal now is to kill the Outsider, the god. So Dishonored 1 tells the story of Corvo, who was the queen of a nation that's kind of modeled off Britain, but like a I can't even say a decayed version of it. So at the time, Brexit had not happened, so this was a decayed vision of Britain.
Okay. Question. I thought Corvo was the guy.
Yeah, Corvo's the guy.
You said the girl, the queen.
Yeah, I said Corvo is the bodyguard of the queen.
Oh, okay.
In the first one, he's the bodyguard of the queen, of the Empress of Dunwall and the Dunwall Isles. And the game opens with a coup attempt that assassinates the queen. This is the first 5 minutes. Assassins using magic powers show up and murder the queen and frame you for it. And all like the queen's ministers were in on the plot. They're clearly evil. You're thrown in prison and then you're let out, and you get the mark of the outsider from the outsider. He gives you magic powers. You become an assassin, and you basically murder everybody that wronged you and the Empress. Also, you find out that the Empress's daughter is actually your daughter, because you be banging, yo. So, and the cool thing about that game was if you killed everybody, the game would change. Each level would change. If you didn't kill people, the game would also, like, so there was 2 modes, high chaos and low chaos. If you didn't get detected and you didn't murder people, the game would be low chaos, which was the good ending. If you murdered people and got detected all the time, you would get high chaos, which was technically the evil Corvo ending, where he'd just be like a monster. And he'd like rescue his daughter at the end and basically teach her to be a insane assassin empress who murdered like anyone who opposed her. The game was very original for its time because you could interact heavily with the environment and use stealth. You had magic powers. You could turn into rats, actually, I think.
Yeah.
The second game came out. It takes place about, I want to say about 10 years later. And you got to choose to play either the daughter, Emily, or Corvo. The first 5 minutes of the game, basically these witches show up and screw you over. And then after the original cutscene, you pick either Corvo or Emily to die. So whoever does not die, you control for the rest of the game. And it changes not really the levels, but each Corvo and Emily had different powers. So you ended up playing a variant version of the game. And Dishonored 2 was really good. It got blasted when on its release because it was buggy as hell. And it ran really bad on PCs and consoles, which it was a mess when it launched. It was not great. The game itself is pretty fantastic. And there was a bunch of DLC for the first game, and I think the second game had DLC as well, where you murder some witches. And then you found out that the outsider was actually like a person who managed to somehow become a god. So Death of the Outsider starts with an assassin you meet in Dishonored 2, Billy Lurk. She is the main character in Death of the Outsider. She's voiced by, why can I not think of her name? She plays Ahsoka in the Mandalorian.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know who that is?
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember her name.
I can't think of her name either.
It's terrible.
She also plays Nick Cage's girlfriend.
In what?
In Luke Cage. Sorry, not Nick Cage. Luke Cage.
Oh yes, yeah, correct. Yes,
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson. There we go. Yeah,
I did it without even having to look it up.
You were like Nick Cage's girlfriend. I'm like, in what movie and/or film, Kyle? Like, I don't think she dated Nick Cage in real life.
She might have. You don't know. You weren't there.
That's fair. Rosario Dawson. Yeah. So she voices Billy Lurk.
She's hot.
So in the game, you're trying to find a way to murder your way to the void and kill the outsider, and you get you steal void powers. The outsider actually gives you powers to hunt him down, because he thinks it's like a challenge or something.
Yeah.
I'm only like halfway through the game, so this is the furthest I've gotten before. I played it before I got to the second level, and it ran like garbage, and I actually think it like warped my save back at one point. Now it seems to run pretty well, and I'm having a good time with it. It's Dishonored again, and really nice. It should have just been an expansion pack for Dishonored 2, though. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. They give you a lot of tools to do cool stuff. Like there are anti-gravity mines that you can chuck and they'll activate, and if anybody gets within like 10 feet of them, it just sucks them to the mine instantly and knocks them out. And you can actually place it in such a way where someone will pull to the mine and whip past the mine and keep going. Like a momentum trap.
Mm-hmm.
So you can whip somebody like 50 feet into the ocean with one of these things. It's really great. It's wonderful. She actually has different powers than the assassins in 1 and 2. So she has an entirely different skill set. So
Okay.
she shares like 1 or 2 with them, but hers are more intricate. Like you can actually like scout ahead ethereally without being detected. And while you're scouting ahead, you can place teleport posts. And actually, if you execute it right, you can stand there looking at a guard while you're a ghost, hit a button, you'll jump back to your body and teleport through the waypoints you set up and instantly like kill the guard. It's really cool. I don't know how high chaos and low chaos really affects Death of the Outsider. I don't know if it affects the Death of the Outsider at all, but I'm going generally low chaos. I've tried to avoid killing people. Yeah. Also, the problem is if you kill someone and you leave them by a bunch of rats, the rats will just eat them like instantly. So you got to be careful with that. But I've been enjoying it. It's a fun, stealthy game. It's nice to get back to that universe. I hope after Redfall from Arcane, I hope they do something in the Dishonored universe or even Prey. I liked Prey. Their reboot of Prey that had I don't know why it was actually called Prey. It had nothing to do with Prey. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what they do after Redwall. I think Redwall is going to be okay, but it hasn't grabbed me as of yet.
Yeah. So, something else that I wish I would talk to you about news, but I just remembered it because I happened to look at the channel's Discord. I sent you a teaser for a game on the Discord.
We have a Discord?
Shut up. I know you're never on it, but
Romanceville. Oh, I saw that. That looks so stupid.
I'm going to play it so hard.
Why?
It looks fun. It looks like just a spoof of a dating game, but also Castlevania.
It's a Metroidvania game with like a
dating instead of Then that's why I want to give it a try. It looks fun. It looks like it'll be worth whatever they want for it.
I mean, sure, it's definitely not something that looked great for me. I was okay. I looked at it and I was like, I'm all right. I'm okay with this. I don't need to interact with that. Apparently, in the pre-game awards show, they announced a Hellboy game. By the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looked interesting. It was heavily cel shaded. It actually looked like the Hellboy comic books. Good. Interesting. Another game I tried out. I want to talk about a little bit. Ghost Lure. So this is a little game I saw on Game Pass. It's currently in preview. It's not even launched yet, and it looked really interesting. It describes itself as an East Punk action RPG. It's like Diablo set in Southeast Asia. And I started playing it a little bit, and it's very interesting. It feels a lot like Diablo 2, slightly simplified.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And the graphics are very, very pixel graphic-y. Like, I don't want to undersell that. The game really makes you feel like you're playing this on a console from the mid-90s. The menus are dedicated to it. Like, nothing about this game feels modern whatsoever. Even the gameplay is basically Diablo 2.
Okay.
It was fun. I played it for a couple hours. I thought it was okay. You can do 4-player local, apparently multiplayer. I didn't know that was only local. How do you do local on your PC?
Well, I'll just sit with our computers next to each other.
God, okay. Weird. The glyph system was kind of cool. You basically like forge. You grab all these magical symbols and you can put them on your body, and you can also like attach different special ones. And based on the layout of the glyphs on your body, they give you additional power. I thought that was a clever way to handle a non-gear progression system. There's also like skill points. The skill system seemed really simple, like really, really simple. I think this is this company's first game, is it? No, it's actually not. They have other games. Interesting. Okay, well, it's... Oh, wait, this is the publisher. Oh, it's developed by two brothers. That explains a lot.
Okay.
Anyways, good for them. It's actually a solid, entertaining game. I just thought it was pretty simple. I mean, it's in preview, so I don't imagine it's going to be anything incredibly complex. I think when it's done, it's going to be a fun, if relatively simplistic take on a Diablo 2 pixel graphics action RPG. Anyways, I did not know it was done by two brothers. That's pretty interesting.
That's neat. So I don't know nothing about two brothers, so
No,
like
no.
literally just two brothers,
yeah,
or is that a studio?
No. It's literally just two brothers.
Okay, that's okay. I wasn't sure.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't mean two brothers like a studio. It's done by Andrew Teo and Adam Teo.
Okay.
I assume they're brothers. Otherwise, they could just be two people with the same last name.
Which I doubt. So, okay. Let's spend the last couple minutes talking about the game that you started, and I don't know when you're going to finish.
So, all right, Bayonetta 3. As soon as you gave it to me, I went in, I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to play this right now. And I popped it in, and I watched the opening cutscene, and I'm like, boy, okay, I hope this gets better. And then I played through the opening, and I just kept saying, boy, I hope this gets better. Like, I played it for maybe like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. It did not grab me at all. Like Bayonetta 2, I liked the beginning, even if it was extremely esoteric. But this one just seems like Like I can't quantify exactly why I'm so just ambivalent about this. Is that the right word? Ambivalent?
No, but I know what you mean. So what is the last thing you did that you remember?
I think I got like a tutorial on like a spider thing, maybe.
Okay, so you're really at the beginning still.
Yeah, I am. Like I said, it didn't grab me, and it's been very. I don't like to do stuff that I don't like doing. So if I didn't enjoy it, I'm very reluctant to play any more of it.
So yeah, you're not finishing it.
I mean, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna put like an hour or two into it this weekend to see if I'm going to finish it or not. Maybe like there's something in the beginning that I hated, like the entire opening, while she's like shooting in the very opening, while the giant wave's coming and there's the cruise ship. She spends like 10 minutes shooting those enemies in a cutscene, and I'm sitting there like, why can't I just play this? Why do you have to show me this in a cutscene?
You remember 1 and 2? We had that too.
You know what? Yeah, and maybe I just like glossed over it, or as I age, I just can't stand it anymore.
I don't know if that's it, because I started playing 1 again, and I'm not having that issue. I think what it is between the change in voice acting and how just it seems really like they just jumped from a point and they have no idea. Like, this game doesn't feel like it was a very cohesive thing. Like none of the
yeah.
games ever felt cohesive, but they always felt like they had a altogether plan. This, I played it, I beat it, I enjoyed it because it does start to pick up at some parts later that made me like it. Now, is it my favorite Bayonetta game? Absolutely not. It is not even close. It is
Yeah.
definitely third, no matter what.
Yeah.
But the storyline in this is they were all jumbled and weird, but there was always kind of a pseudo through line.
Mhm.
This one, not so much. They decided to introduce some crap, but then they never explain it at all. And I'm really looking forward to you beating this so I can talk to you about this to make sure I'm not alone in my feelings.
I mean, that's assuming I am gonna beat it. I gotta play it a little bit more, but I don't know.
If you decide you're not going to play it through, we at least just go look up like
Yeah, I'll watch a synopsis or something.
a storyline synopsis.
Yeah, yeah. I'm giving it another try this weekend. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna put a little bit more time into it and see if I can get over my just incredible disdain.
I think you'll like the John missions.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not Bayonetta. It's exactly it's Metal Gear Solid.
It's Metal Gear Solid.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a side-scrolling Metal Gear Solid game when you play as Joan. Like you stealth around enemies and you find weapons and then you have to, sneak into vents and under stuff and over stuff.
Okay.
It's a really hard turn and I enjoyed it.
Mhm.
The introduction of Viola, which is the third character you should have met.
Is she the one in the very beginning from the alternate universe?
Yes, the one that fell into the car.
The punk chick.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
She is the focal point character.
Okay. Is she similar to Loki from 2?
No. She's
Oh.
very different. She's a very different character.
No, I meant as the focal point character.
Yes, kind of like that. Yes.
Okay.
You'll see as it goes on. I don't expect you to beat it. Like, we'll go over it. I'll probably talk to you Monday about it after I get back. So we'll see how it goes for you.
Okay.
If you can't complete it, watch a quick through the storyline, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
I started enjoying it as it got later.
All right.
The very beginning though, was rough.
Yeah, the beginning is not good. By the way, Kyle, they just announced that Among Us hide and seek game mode is coming, where one player plays as a monster and everyone else has to fix everything on the ship while also not being caught by the monster.
Okay. That's kind of the game anyways, but whoop-de-doo. Has it started?
No, it's doing the previews right now, which apparently are new announcements nonetheless.
So, yeah, we're going to probably jump off here. If you didn't have work or whatever you had to do, I was going to say we could probably sit here and, film.
Unfortunately, I'm not even going to be able to watch it tonight, unfortunately. So, yeah. This game is called Piccolo. You appear to play Barbie, and as she walks around a dead world, she grows plants around her.
Okay.
Interesting.
But,
by the way, the other thing I think we're going to see tonight is I think you're going to see Death Stranding 2.
You think?
Yes. I think it's either going to be Death Stranding 2 or it's going to be a side game of Death Stranding. I think Hideo Kojima is going to announce his next game.
Speaking of which, there is also something with Konami. I was looking around. There is something with Konami too, and everyone's thinking it's going to be a remaster of Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, that'd be cool. I mean, as long as it's done well.
They haven't messed them up too bad
Metal Gear
yet.
Survive. Metal Gear Survive, Kyle.
No,
Metal Gear Survive.
We'll see.
All right.
But that'll give us enough time to get off here and get set up to watch the Game Awards. I'm going to be watching through it.
Are you going to be live posting on our Discord?
What's up?
Are you going to be live posting on our Discord?
I can.
I
It's
mean,
not
we
like
have
you're
a
gonna.
Discord. We have a Discord, Kyle.
It's not like you're gonna.
I mean, that's true. I just told you I can't even watch it. Like,
Yeah. Anyway, I'm assuming you work.
yeah, I got some work.
That's
I gotta
fine.
get.
We all work. But yeah, guys, we're gonna do this. There's going well, by the time this gets posted up on Monday, there's going to be some extra footage from an event I will be attending.
What kind of event?
So I'll leave it on there because I'm actually going to do a separate video and recording later tomorrow morning and post it. So
Okay.
I'll save it for that.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. So have a good night, guys. Enjoy your holiday.
Later, everybody.